We want to build the #1 international baseball league.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch, baby!
Like I said, I feel blessed.
The pitcher grabbed by Schlitter goes for the force of the plate.
Ground ball, double play, game over. Wow!
This is a money ball, gentlemen, and this.
Oh, money ball!
Back at it again with another episode of the Baseball United podcast. I'm your host, Liam Skiffington, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined today by a man whose dedication to this game has taken him all around the world. Infielder for the East Falcons, Mr. Alex Liddi. Alex, it's great to see you again, brother. How's everything been going?
Good. Thank you, Liam. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here.
Of course, I appreciate you taking the time. So, Alex, it's been almost a year since I saw you at last year's showcase, and we're going to get into all that, everything we got going on here at Baseball United. But first, I would love for the audience to get a little bit of background on you. So you grew up in Italy. So I want to know, really, what was it like for you? What was the baseball atmosphere in Italy growing up? Because over here in America, at least, we have Perfect Game, which is becoming huge. We have all these tournaments which seem to be going all year round. What was it like for you growing up?
It was definitely a challenge. Baseball is not the #1 sport. It's actually one of the minority sports in Italy. So a lot of time we had to travel just 2-3 hours to play a game. My family was a big support for me. They took me everywhere. And then when I started turning 12, I started playing for the national team. That when I started playing more games and travel all around the world with the national team. So I started playing a little bit more games. But it's definitely a challenge comparing to the United States playing baseball in Italy.
So it sounds like, Alex, from a young age, you really got your start in the international scene as it relates to baseball. Where were you go? What were some of the places you were going when you were 12?
So the first tournament I did internationally was in Czech Republic in Europe. It was like a European Cup. And the same year, we qualified for the Caribbean World Series. I think that year was in Mattoon, Illinois. That was my first experience in the United States. It was amazing. I still remember to this day. And it was just amazing to be able to come to the United States and play baseball in such a big tournament like that. It was really fun.
What were some of those core memories for you, Alex, from that your first time over here in the United States?
But just I was amazed at how baseball was so important here. Like how even like us in the little league, they had nice stadium. That we had fans. We play a lot of night games. It was like something really like beautiful for me and never experienced before. And I always look for. I was always watch big league games on TV with my dad when I was younger, and I was so enthusiastic to be able to come in the United States and play.
Who were some of the people you looked up to growing up, Alex? Some of the players that you were watching on TV?
So definitely Chipper Jones was one of my favorite. Ken Griffey, Mike Piazza, and those three probably I still have poster at my mom's house in Italy. I have a Griffey poster like big on the wall, and so definitely those three players have a big impact on me growing up.
Were there any players, Alex, that you remember meeting during your travels during these tournaments? Because I know, at least over here, a lot of times they'll have some legends go to these tournaments, meet the kids, talk to them. Did you have an experience like that?
Yeah, I had a chance to meet Kyle Ripken when we did that tournament. Like I said, I think one day we had to do the home run derby, and he was there, and I had a picture with him, and I was looking at him. I was really small, and I remember how big he was, and I was just happy and blessed to have the opportunity to meet a player like that.
Absolutely, Alex. So you signed as an undrafted free agent in 2005 with the Seattle Mariners organization. What was that transition to professional baseball in America like for you?
Honestly, at the beginning, I want to say like scared, but like I was nervous, didn't know what to expect. But at the same time, I was so focused and so happy, and I had so much passion for this game that how that stuff didn't matter anymore when I got to the United States, and I was able to compete with guys coming from Dominican, Venezuela, United States, and don't really worry about how good they were and how bad I was it with baseball, because coming from Europe, it definitely took me a little bit to get used to it to baseball in the United States.
So a couple years into your professional career here, you were actually named the Seattle Mariners Organizational Player of the Year. What was it like for you, Alex, to deal with that kind of pressure of being like a top prospect at such a young age? Because you also made your professional debut before your 18th birthday.
Yes, yes. I signed when I was 17, just turned 17, and it was. I remember that here perfect because we had the first classic that I played in 2009, and the manager is kind of like my dad in baseball, I can call him. And he took me because he really liked the way I approached the game, the passion I had for the game. And I didn't even start the first game. I played the second game and I played good. The third game I played good. So when I got back to spring training with the Mariners, that's when everything clicked in my head and like it gave me that boost that I need to know that I was good enough to make it. And I think that was the extra thing. And that here I had probably the best year of my career in the minor leagues, and that was 2009. And from that time on, I never stopped believing in myself.
This manager you're talking about, is it Marco?
Yeah,
I'm
Marco
going to
Mazzieri.
butcher the last name. Say it for me.
Mazzieri.
Mazzieri. Can you tell me, can you expand upon your relationship with him a little bit? Because I know clearly, based on what you said, he certainly means a lot to you in your career.
Yes, pretty much is the first guy that believed in me growing up. So it might sound crazy, but when I was younger, I wasn't the best player on the national team. There were players that were better than me, and so people were talking about other players. And Marco was the first guy that actually like see something in me, and he had a good relationship with the Orioles at that time. And I got invited to go to spring training for 10 days. I wasn't even able to sign yet. I think I was 15, and he did that for me. And then I moved to his close to his house to play 1 year, and I trained with him every day. And that year I signed thanks to him because he cleaned my swing, so that's why I call him the dad in baseball for me, because he did a lot for me in baseball. And also now, like this year I had a rough summer. I went to Italy. First thing I did, I went to say hi to him, and I was like, I need to work with you a little bit. So we went back and worked together on hitting again.
He's still managing right now, right? He's the manager for the Italy national team still.
No, he was into my last classic in 2017. Then he decided to step back, and now he's running for president of the Italian Federation, which is hopefully he wins. It's going to be a good boost for Italy.
Seems like he would be a fantastic leader for the Italy Federation based on how you speak of him. I'm sure you're not the only player that speaks as highly of him as you do. Alex, so in 2011, let's fast forward a little bit, you make your major league debut. What was that? Tell me about how you figured out or how you found out that you were going to the big leagues.
So I was having a good year in AAA, and there was August came in. By the end of August, I think I had 28 homers already. I was about to hit the 100 ribbies. So everybody was like, all my teammates were like, "You're gonna get called up this year." But like it's something like you want to hear that, but at the same time, it's like, no. What about if it doesn't happen? I'm gonna be disappointed. But everybody's like, "No, you're gonna get called up. Soon September comes in, you're gonna get called up." So September comes in, and a bunch of guys get called up September 1st, but the season ends September 6th, I think, or 5th. So I was like, you see, I didn't get called up. But then after the last game of the season, other two guys got called up, and I'm taking a shower. I was like, you see, I didn't get called up. I was taking a shower, and next thing you know, the guys came in. He's like, the manager wants to see you, and I had soap on me. He's like, okay, let me finish. He's like, no, you gotta come down. So I cleaned myself up, put a towel, put a shirt, go in the office, and the manager's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah, blah. And he's like, "You gotta go to instructional league because you gotta work on something." Because I was playing a little bit of shortstop too at that time. And you gotta go instructional. I was like, I don't think I'm going to instructional league. I'm too old for that. And they're like, no, no, for real, you're going to instructional league. And I was like, no, no chance. And he's like, no, no, you're going to LA tomorrow. you're gonna meet the team in Los Angeles. They're playing the Angels, and at that time, I didn't hit me yet. I didn't know yet. It hit me when I got to the field, and not even the first day. The first day I didn't play. The day I play, it hit me when I got to the field. Usually I go to the field early. And I think it was like 2 o'clock, and I'm going to the field, and I'm looking at the lineup, and I see I'm playing. That's when I start sweating. And I think for that time on, I didn't talk to nobody all day.
So, Alex, some guys, when they get called up, they're not making the start that day. That wasn't the case for you. It didn't seem like. So when you finally saw your name on that lineup card and you took the field that day, also that day you became the first player born in Italy to ever play on a major league field. What did that mean to you?
At that time, it was, like I said, that was just so natural because I think like we players, we work so hard. We have so much passion for the game, and it took me 6 years to get to the big league. So it was like something that I dreamed since I was a kid. That I always got. It was in my head. I think it was so natural. And at the time, you probably don't realize what you did until maybe later or now that I look back. At that time, I felt so natural, and like I felt like it something that had to happen because we dedicate so much to this game. We sacrifice a lot, and I was definitely happy and like proud of myself and happy to represent Italy at the biggest stage. And I think probably my family was even more excited than me.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. So you spent parts of 3 seasons with the Seattle Mariners at the big league level. You got to share the field with some great people, compete against some even greater players. One of the players you got to share the field with was Ichiro Suzuki. What can you tell me about what you learned from him, if anything, just watching him around the ballpark, how he went about his business?
What I say about him is the guy that is really like he has a routine, set up routine, and he doesn't go away from that. Like no matter what, he eats the same thing every day, sit in the same spot. He had his own spot in the bench. He had a hole in the bench where he put his bat straight up, and under he has like a rubber thing so his bat would stand up straight. And it's definitely I'm blessed to have a chance to play with a Hall of Famer like that, and I can tell you that he speaks Spanish and English good too. People think he doesn't speak, but and like I said, he goes about his business every day the same way. It don't matter if he's 10 for 10 or 0 for 10, and that's what I got from him. Another guy was Felix. Felix Hernandez. He was really like more like to joke around and play with everybody, welcome everybody. It was a good leader in the clubhouse.
But then on start days for Felix Hernandez, Alex, I'm sure he was absolutely locked in, right?
Yes, yes. That's what I never understand about pitcher. They mess around every day, and then when they pitch, they don't want to
Yep.
talk to anybody. But yeah, it's definitely him and another guys that welcomed me, helped me a lot was Sean Figgins. Sean Figgins was one of those guys that it was took me under his wings and helped me a lot during those times.
Alex, baseball players are creatures of habits. Did you, as you just mentioned with Ichiro, did you have any a specific routine or specific superstitions you would go through before each start?
I don't want to say about. At times, probably yes, but the superstition I have is something that I do during my at bats. Probably like open and close my batting glove between every pitch. Like take the same route to the home plate. Take the same amount of ground ball between innings. Stuff like that. But before the game, definitely go through stretch where like you do something the same, but then you change it. And not like my dad. My dad, if I had a good game, he would wear the same stuff the next day. My mom would call me and say, "You need to get out today because I need to watch his clothes."
I like it's only stupid if it doesn't work, right, Alex?
Yeah.
So in 2013, Alex, you were actually traded to the Baltimore Orioles. What was it like for you? You were still pretty young at that time. What was it like for you to be traded, but especially across coast from Seattle to Baltimore?
It's definitely uh, different experience because I went from being in a team where I was there for 9 years. They signed me. They make me debut. I knew everybody. Felt like home. But at the same time, I knew that I didn't have a spot there for me because Seager was having an amazing career, ended up having an amazing career. And me and him at the beginning, we were platooning, but then he took off. So I understood that wasn't the right place for me anymore. And I was trying to have a new experience with a new team that actually at that time was really good.
Mhm.
So I was excited to go there.
And what was that experience like for you just in the Baltimore organization? Because you mentioned that you were kind of blocked by Corey Seager. Were you not also kind of blocked in Baltimore's organization by Manny Machado?
No, I was. But the thing was that when I got to Baltimore, I didn't do like I expected or they expected. So after I was there for 2 months, they took me off the roster, off the 40-man roster. So I decided to go a different route. But yeah, I mean, it was going to be tough with the Orioles too. But definitely I didn't perform like I want to perform like I did with the Mariners.
Absolutely. Alex, you've also spent time with the Chicago White Sox organization, the Kansas City Royals, the Dodgers, and then I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
In terms of major leagues. So you were signing minor league deals. What is that process like for you, Alex, as a player? And at what point do you weigh your options of continuing to play in the major leagues or at least affiliated with the major leagues or go kind of check out other opportunities maybe in a different country?
I think once I had a year so after 2000, when was yeah after 2015 that I played with the Royals. I had a really good year in the minor leagues, and I went to winter ball. I had a great year in the winter ball, and I signed with the Orioles again for spring training 2016. And I see like how they weren't looking at me like they were used to looking at me. I was 26 at that time, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I told myself maybe I'm done in the United States. So I was talking to my agent, told him I want to go overseas. I want to play in Japan. I want to play in Korea. And I feel a lot of guys that had my same number, like my same career, that were going there, and I didn't, and I was getting the opportunity. So that year in spring training, they told me I was gonna go to Double A, and I wasn't happy about it. So I just played winter ball in Mexico. So I decided I made some calls, and the season was about to start. And team from Cancun that was actually really good at that time. They called me. It's like, you want to come and play for us? And I was like, going to Cancun and play baseball. I was like, I think I'm gonna try that. So
There we
that
go.
was my first summer experience in Mexico, and I had a great year there. And I had a couple offers to go back to the States, but none of them were appealing to me. So I decided to stay there another more year, and that's when my international career pretty much started.
Yeah, so getting into your international career, you've played in Mexico, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, the Dominican, and most recently Dubai, which we'll get into as well. But what has your international experience been like, Alex? Like this sport has given you the opportunity to essentially travel the world and do something you love.
Yeah, definitely something that I will always bring with me, the opportunity to be able to visit so many countries. And it's a package that you're going to take with you. And it's like, just looking back, it just gave me chills to be able to travel the world and do what you love. And it's just amazing. And I think it's something that I wish to anybody, even in, like if you didn't play there's a lot of guys that never make to the big leagues and they have an amazing career because they go to Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Mexico. So that's what I tell a lot of kids: don't just stay so focused on the United States, which is good. Definitely, everybody wants to play in the big leagues and as much as they can, but you can still have a good career and take care of your family being outside of the United States.
Alex, you mentioned earlier in the show how when you made your major league debut and became the first Italian-born player to step on a major league field, you didn't really understand the significance of it at the time because you were so young and you were obviously focused on the job at hand. But recently, for the Los Angeles Angels, another Italian-born player, a pitcher, the first pitcher, debuted, Sam Aldegari. So what
Yes.
does it mean for you, Alex, now that you're a little bit older, you have that perspective? What does it mean to you to kind of have been that trailblazer for players like him and the players that are going to come after him?
I think he's cool, and I'm proved that even us from Italy, where baseball is not that popular, and you put up the work, and you have passion for the game, you have the right mentality, you can make it. And I think Sam, he had a great career in the minor leagues. He's showing that he can compete at the highest level, and hopefully he does. He plays for like 10 years or more as a starter or whatever. But I think he has everything to make a big career in the States and even being a more influence for Italian players.
Alex, what can you say about the state of baseball in Italy right now compared to when you were growing up?
And he's in the best stage. Sad to say it, but growing up, it was more baseball played, better coaches, better level, and now it kind of went down. The level is not that good. Less people interested into the game. So that's why I hope with Marco winning the presidency is gonna bring back what baseball was in Italy maybe 15, 20 years ago. It was much better than what it was now. Than what it is now.
And that's such an important initiative, at least for us here at Baseball United, Alex, is growing the game, especially in countries where it's not so popular. For us, particularly, obviously, the Middle East and South Asia. So you had the opportunity last year to compete in our All-Star Showcase. What was that experience like for you? Because when you, as someone who's played all over the world, when you hear about this league being started in Dubai, your initial reaction was what?
It was like great. We're gonna different country and still playing baseball.
Right. So, Alex, when you get there, you see this cricket pitch transformed into a baseball field. What was that like for you?
It wasn't. I wasn't. It was so normal to me because, like I said, being in Italy, I've been playing a lot of soccer field baseball games, so it
Hmm.
was kind of natural for me, and I understood the situation, the moment where we were in terms of like the league is about to start, so they don't have nothing settled yet. So it was normal for me, and I think it was a great experience for all of us, and like it was just like I told Cash, so blessed and proud to be part of something that big.
Were you surprised at all, Alex, at the turnout and the atmosphere of those two games last year?
No, I wasn't surprised because I know what baseball can do and what kind of people were there. Like Cash says in a dinner that we had at his house, and when we met in September of 2013, 23, sorry. uh, every player was hand choose, was picked by them. It wasn't just random players, just good players. It was just a great group of guys, good players, and we just clicked together, and that's what made that event so good. I think we had the right people there.
When you look at this leadership group, Alex, you've mentioned Cash a couple times. When you look at this leadership group, their ability to continue to pivot and move forward and navigate through places no one's ever gone before in relation to baseball. What does that mean to you to be a part of something like that? It has to instill confidence in you that the league is going to continue to grow and be successful.
Yes, definitely. It gives me a lot of confidence. And I tell everybody that asks me, because a lot of people have been asking me about Dubai. And they're like, yeah, they're saying, like, yeah, but who knows? I was like, trust me, the people in charge are all in on this. They're not messing around. They're doing it the right way, and they're focused 100% on this. It might take more or less time. We don't know because it still is a new league. It's not easy. It's a lot of challenge, but it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be good, and they're gonna give their best to make it good.
I couldn't agree more. There's no one better to lead this group to where it's going to be going than our chairman and CEO, Cash Shake. In addition to Cash, Alex, this league also, our ownership group is the most elite ownership group in all of sports. You have Hall of Famers, you have former All-Stars, you have guys who have made such a significant impact on this game and will forever live on in the history of the game. One of your former teammates, Felix Hernandez, he's also a co-owner. So again, it just has to instill a level of confidence that not only is the league going to continue to grow and thrive, but the product of baseball on the field is going to be that of an elite level, of an elite league.
Yeah, like that's another thing that gives me confidence. All these big name in baseball, all these great athletes, they made such an impact in baseball for a long time in their career. They got involved into this, and I don't think guys of these names get involved in something that is not gonna be good. I think their name is something important in baseball, and they don't want to make a bad impact after a great career. So I think that's another good point that can give a lot of people confidence because all these people involved are big time players, big time coaches, and they're not trying to have 20-year career just and then say, oh, they did try to do something in Dubai, but it was bad. So I think that's another big thing and something elite to have a group of guys like that can bring so much experience and help so much as well.
Alex, so actually during the showcase, you made a little bit of history yourself. You hit the first home run in Baseball United history. What was that like for you when you finally realized like that ball was going out and you had the first bomb?
I was happy. You can see it running the base, and plus, Felix was talking some crap to me before the game because the day before I think I hit 2 or 3 ground balls to the shortstop, and I told him I was gonna go deep that day during stretch, and and when I hit a home run, you can see me turning around and looking and pointing at Felix because I was telling him, I told you. But definitely it was, like I said, I don't know what to say. I'm so blessed to have that opportunity to hit the first home run, and I'm glad to be part of history and keep going with this league.
Alex, so we recently announced the construction of our brand new ballpark over there. So not only will that be host to all of our upcoming events, it's also going to be the premier hub of any baseball that's going to be over in that region. How significant is that to you when you heard that news?
Yeah, like I said, it speaks good about Cash and all the ownership. They're doing serious stuff, and they're not messing around with this. And it's another big step, big milestone for the league and for the ownership and for all of us that we're going towards our goal, which is making this league happen. And so it's another big step.
Alex, we often talk about the importance of international tournaments in relation to the growth of this sport around the world. Our upcoming Baseball United Arab Classic is going to be held November 7th through November 10th in our brand new ballpark, and it's going to have 9 national teams from around the region. You got a chance to play with some of the prospects we brought in last year. So, in your opinion, how significant is a tournament like this for the growth of the sport?
It's super important. I think it's another showcase for the players and for baseball in general to show them that baseball is being played and people actually want to play baseball and there is talent everywhere in the world. And so it's just amazing, and I'm so happy to see that happen in over there because I can relate to my country, and giving these guys more opportunity is just really good for them.
And then Alex, switching gears a little bit. So we have the Baseball United Arab Classic coming up in November, and then in February of 2025 we have the Baseball United Cup, which is going to be the first time a professional baseball franchise will play over there. What was your reaction to that when you heard that news, and how excited are you to get back on the field and compete?
I'm definitely super excited. I cannot wait to go back out there and play and just feel the atmosphere we felt the last time, maybe even better this time because more people know. So it's only gonna get better. I think every time we play, it's only gonna get better, and I definitely looking forward. And like I said, I cannot wait to be there.
I think the Baseball United Cup, Alex, is also super significant. And I think it's going to be really impactful and really powerful because it's going to be the first time that these fans in this region can really connect with their favorite player or their hometown team. What do you have to say on that front?
Yeah, definitely. When like you said, when you connect with the player, it's more powerful, like you said, because you feel that vibe, the energy. It's not just going watch a game or just you actually like you almost like suffer with them or you like you have celebrate with them. So that's what make I think sports and baseball so good and so fun and so entertaining because this type of connection.
Alex, and then last but certainly not least, in starting in October of 2025, we're beginning our very first season here at Baseball United. How excited are you to compete in that in about a month-long sprint of baseball?
I'm definitely super excited because they're gonna be done with this exhibition game, so we can actually focus on winning and making count. So I would love to be part of the first team in that win the championship there.
Alex, as we wrap up here, what's your message to the fans over in the Middle East and South Asia, waiting for you guys to get back on the ground, waiting to watch you guys compete, waiting to connect with you guys, and waiting to really start to bond with this sport?
I think don't be afraid to when we are there to stop us, to ask us question, and to come see us. And like I said, like I was telling you earlier, it's only gonna get better every time. Every time it's gonna get better. It's gonna be a better environment, better atmosphere, more people's gonna come, and so they're gonna enjoy it more and more each time, and we're gonna enjoy it too. But yeah, don't be afraid to interact and be with us and ask questions and just ask for anything.
Alex, can't thank you enough for your time today, man. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you telling your story, and I'm looking forward to watching you compete soon.
Thank you, Liam.